We are joined by security analyst, Kenel retired Festus Abuaji. He joins us via Zoom. Grateful to you, sir, for joining us here on the Channel One newsroom. First of all, how essential is the president's request in resolving matters like these?
Well, thank you for having me on your program. I think it's imperative that the president, as soon after he had taken office, has attempted to address a very serious lapse on the part of the state by directing or requesting, as you put it, for the IGP to provide a status report on what the police service has done regarding all the murders associated with the 2020 elections. And I think it's very important to clarify that some of the deaths occurred, at least two of them, during the voter registration exercise in 2020. And some occurred during or after elections in 2020. But not all of them occurred at Techiman. Some occurred in Accra, others occurred elsewhere in the country. But in total, I think the police has suggested that about 8 people were killed. Now, sometime in June of 2021, the police provided an update that it had arraigned some suspects before the courts. But very symptomatic of the police, since 2021 June, the police has not found it necessary to inform Ghanaians as to what the outcomes of its investigations and prosecutions have been. So it is about time that the new administration thought that democracy is not only about cyclically queuing to go and elect people to govern us.
Okay.
Democracy is also about the quality, the fairness, the transparency, the peacefulness of that process. So if for whatever reason, a number of Ghanaians have lost their lives, it is imperative that the state would exercise its constitutional mandate to investigate and then take the necessary actions, be they prosecution or imprisonment or whatever the punishments might be. So there has been a very serious failure or lapse on the part of the outgoing administration.
Do you think it was a lack of political will for which reason we were unable to investigate, find the culprits, and punish them appropriately?
I wouldn't think that it was lack of political will. My sense is that over the past 8 years, there had been palpable evidence of a government not interested in upholding and protecting human rights. It's very, very clear. Now we're talking about the 2020 elections, including the voter registration. Now, coming forward, what about Ayawasu West Ogun, 2019? What about Ejura 2021, if I'm not mistaken? You know, so when you put all of these together, plus other, incidents of murders, unexplained murders, and so on, and you cannot get a government to convince Ghanaians that it is serious about getting to the bottom of these, issues, with the exception of the Ayawasu West Ogun and Nigeria. But even that, we know that the white paper whitewashed whatever the committees or commissions reports were. So it's not about lack of political will. It was a clear agenda set by the government to see no wrong and not hear any wrong and not do anything about anything that had gone wrong in the administration of human rights or the protection of human rights in the country. So it's a must that in order to consolidate democracy, we address some of the fundamental principles like the protection of human rights and the rule of law and so on and so forth. Otherwise, we might be, thinking that our democracy is fine, when indeed it's not fine. Because in the last elections, anywhere between 3 to 6 people have also died.
Yeah.
And the state is very happy about this, subculture of impunity. So there's a right action on the part of the government. And I think the government must be applauded. But I want to see the logical conclusion, not just, periodic pronouncements on these matters.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Colonel retired Festus Abuaji is a security analyst, helping us with further perspectives on the President's directive to the police service to investigate some deaths from the 2020 and 2024 elections.